Hi, everybody. This is Gary Demas Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Thursday, February 13th, 2025. So, I'm showing you the first chart. This is what I put out in the morning. In the morning notes, I said we're really trading within this triangle pattern, which is neutral until it either breaks to the upside or the downside. So if it broke to the upside, the next thing it had to do is this is the ES, by the way, and it had to get through the 61.22, and then the next line is going to be the 61.46, which is the all-time highs. If it gets above it, then we're looking at a move coming all the way up to close to the 6,200. I believe we'll probably come up to the 61.46, pull back, and then go back up again. I don't think we're going to go right up, but anything could happen. But then anyway, if I had mentioned to follow this triangle on the ES, and if you see a break, then you get bullish on things, and we got a break at 60.91, and it's almost 50 points higher on it. So this worked out good as far as having a good eye as far as what is happening. Taking a look at this is probably the best chart right here. I know let me take the bands off. This thing is frustrating to look at. Okay, so what we're looking at here is we are trading within this zone right at. Oh, hang on one second. Okay, so the zone that we are following was right here. I had at the 60.17, and then the top was the 61.01. But we are in a shorter term little range right here that was going from the 60.18, and we kept hitting our head up at the 60.72 level, dropped back down, and the bears were never able to finish this on the downside. So each time we came back up, it was just they were losing, let's say, confidence that they were going to be able to keep this market down. And, we were really just waiting for, when it was going to break out of the range. And here you can see it broke out, and then it made it up to the 60.94. And then we got some news about a tariff, and we went from 60.94 all the way back down to the 60.68. And then from there, we just rallied straight up. So this was washed out all of the bulls that were waiting for the break and thought that we were going to have another one of these moves, and we ended up going straight up on it. So it went as planned, and we're above the 6100. And now what we have to do, we have to just we have to wait and see, can the bulls get above the all-time highs, which is right at this 60.29 level. If they do, then really what we'd be looking at is a move heading again somewhere close up into the 61.80, 61.90 area, and then from there, I think we'll have a decent opportunity to take a quick short trade. I do believe this is an ending dialogue, meaning that once this rally ends, I think the bulls are going to have a lot of trouble, and it may not end until when the S&P is over 6,200, maybe 63. But it's not going to be the type of melt up that I think a lot of people are looking at, and there's just too much moving obstacles right now to keep an eye on, and it's just, I don't believe it's going to be as easy as some people have think it's going to be because of previous years. But in any case, if the bulls can get above it, you can see that I thought maybe we were going to get some bearish divergences if we got above it, but momentum picked up, so there is no bearish divergence. At some point, unless they gap over this, I wouldn't be surprised to see us go above it, maybe somewhere up into the 60.40, and then come back down and up, because it just would make a little sense to be able to bring our momentum indicators back in line again. But you can see where it is right now, and if it's just as far as just previous moves, these have all come after big down moves, but you can see the momentum can get a lot higher than where it is right now. Excuse me. So if on the downside, I think this is the best way to look at it. So on the down, this I would expect the bulls to try to hold the 6100 level. If they don't, we have this support right here. I'm going to move this up here. So let's say we have it between the 6099 and the 6090. This zone right here is important for the bulls to hold, because if it's going to be a wave structure and it takes this out, now we're getting an overlapping pattern, and that's going to kind of throw some doubt into some of the, say, the Elliott wave counters, their count that they have, because to them this is a wave 3, which means that we should, head just straight up without any pullbacks, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. It might, we'll have to wait and see on it. But the thing is, this is the important support. If they lose it, then I made this the black line, because I'm going to say this is going to be the line in the sand, because by the time we get down there, I believe the 200-day moving average will be right about up into these levels too. And if that gets taken out, I think we're coming right back down, and we're going to take out these lows. But for now, I don't really see any major reason to believe that a top is in right now. We could get some big moves up and down, but I think for the most part, as long as the bulls can stay above the important support levels that I just showed, we really want to be looking to buy dips on it, but we're going to take it on a day-to-day time period on that. So the fund, hang on one sec. All right, so we did 2,600. We could have done a lot better, and it was this move right here that got me, because I was up on the trade. I had the 60-70 calls, and I sold the 6,100 calls. So I gave myself some room on it. And when we hit here and came down, I pretty much gave up all those gains. I was up at one point close to 9,000 and gave it up. And then when it came down and it shot back up again, I really was just more like, you know what, I don't really want to chase anything, because I know with the news with the tariffs, it could, there's times that, sends the markets down 100 points. So that was a little bit in the back of my head. I think I was just overthinking things, because, if he kept it simple and just used the break of the triangle here, and when we, as long as it didn't come back down, the path to least resistance was to the upside. So anyway, I'm kind of open for tomorrow. I would not be surprised to see if they gap us up over the all-time highs on it. It just would make sense. But what that will do is give us that gap up trade. And what that is if let's say we gap up into the 60-50 level. So what it will do, what that trade is usually within the next 3 days, we come and fill this gap again. So it's something it's hard to do right from the start, but I'm going to keep an eye on things and see how they go, and maybe that might be the quick trade, but maybe even selling some call premium if it gaps up there, because typically they don't just melt up. They'll gap up and just go sideways. So anyway, let's see what plays out tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.